Are you frustrated with how the fight ended? Moments after the uppercut landed, there appeared to be a push from Fury.
Yeah, the uppercut landed. I was buzzed, but obviously, you know, what I mean, I was trying to recover my senses, and then he proper full on pushed me like that, and I fell over and hit my head on the canvas, which is legal. This ain't wrestling. This is boxing. You know what I mean? But you know, as usual, they let Fury do what he wants and get away with it. You know what I mean? I should have been allowed extra time to recover and then carry on fighting. You know what I mean? And then he pushed me. Then he went and said, "Referee, don't let the fight carry on." What, you know? And then it was like, referee ain't doing his job. It's like, okay, okay, I got caught. No doubt, I got caught. A good shot. You know, so I went for the left uppercut. He went for the right uppercut. He's a bit taller than me, so obviously he landed his at range. I was hurt. Obviously, I didn't go straight down. I was hurt. I was trying to get my senses together. Then he full on two-handed pushed me. It wasn't like one arm thing. He two-handed pushed me, and I fell over and hit my head. You know, a referee. It's a terrible job from the referee there, but you know, it is what it is.
And in spite of all that, there was only a second left in the round.
Yeah, I should have had time to recover. I had time to go back to my corner. You know.
What's good, family? Shout out to my doggy Shed for boosting up your man the YB coin. Wow. So we just heard there from your mans a bumillion shite. Yeah, and I feel so vindicated, car. After the fight, obviously, I've been roasting bumillion shite. And rightfully so, because he's a bum, a useless one. Listen, Shillian, I told you, listen, I'm contacting Frank Warren anyway, because you need to be sued 100%. Yeah? You don't deserve, no, 18%. You deserve 1%. Max. But anyway, like I was saying, I feel vindicated because after the fight, your man the YB stayed wicking Shillian. And all the goofy white fans and anyone else who wanted it was saying, "Oh, YB, don't kick a man when he's down, YB. Oh, YB, what, Dillian Shite was a warrior, YB." Oops. How that work? How that narrative working out now? I told you, a character of a man, or the character of a man is the character of the man. Yeah, how he's acted. Let's run it down. I saw a Twitter earlier today. Someone reacting to this video from Shite. And they said, Shite had no respect to his fans from the jump. From the jump, he started asking for 45%. Then he didn't turn up to press conferences. Then he missed the open workout. Then he had a whopper of a performance. Then he ran off in no post-fight interview. And now he's pulling a Deontay Wilder. "Oh, man, Tyson Fury cheated. And, oh, man, you know." All this kind of crying. Yeah, the Brixton bummer. The Brixton bum. How embarrassing. "Oh, man, I need a rematch. And, you know, it was close. And I wasn't outclassed. And, you know, he pushed me. And big bulbous dude." I bet he pushed you. I thought you... And the worst thing is, yeah, all these years... Do you know what we've heard about Dillian? All these years we've heard, "Oh, YB. Yeah, but YB. Dillian would MMA everyone. Oh, YB. Dillian's a kickboxer. Yeah, Dillian would do this on the streets. On the streets, no one can beat Dillian in boxing." Well, where was all the street? Where was all the streets? Where was all the kickboxing? Where was all the mixed martial arts? So, Fury only gave you a little tap. So where was all in it? Where was it all? Because people have been saying for years that Dillian's some great grappler. So what's the problem, Mr. Big Grappler? Yeah, Dillian's meant to be some bulldog, isn't he? Some grimy cat. You telling me a little push knocked you out? Goofy dude. So don't know from now on. I know the character of these individuals. Yeah? Dillian got no shame and he's a bum. He's got no shame and he's a grimy bum. And that's why you get treated like a grimy, no shame, have an ass bum. Yeah? Don't tell me, "Oh, YB, I don't care. I'm not here to respect these goofies." You get respect when you show respect. He ain't showing no respect. He just basically, what's happened here is Dillian desperate for another payday. Simple as that. He's desperate. He's trying to find any angle for another payday. Because he's a bum. And he knows he ain't going to get paid no 8 million nowhere else. Yeah? Dillian's done the maths. Wait there a minute. If I fight some more Sky pay-per-views for 500 grand again, like the Povetkin fight, it's going to take me 16 fights to get that. And I'm probably going to get knocked out in half of them again. So he thinks, wait there a minute, I'm better off trying to spin some conspiratorial narrative. "Oh, man, the referee was in on. Tyson Fury was working with the referee and..." What? How did the referee put the end of your bonds on Tyson Fury's right uppercut? Explain that then. "Oh, man, you know, Tyson Fury, he gets away with everything, and it's institutional and the system. Oh man, my name's Dillian, and I've been done so wrong, and the system against me, and TYSON Fury, and fix up. And that's why I'm sick of this whole street narrative. Yeah? Oh, I'm from Brixton, I'm big hard ass. You're a bum. You're a scary bum. Yeah? These guys, they spin these narratives. Oh man, yeah, I'm from the hood, and I'm really tough. And next thing you know, you're crying about how the ref got you down bad, and how you got pushed, and how embarrassing. Honestly, I've never seen anything like it. I really ain't. And I've got videos coming soon, but the thing that gets me is the fact that, guess what? When Deontay Wilder did his thing, Dillian was laughing, cracking jokes, saying Wilder's a fraud, saying Wilder's a joke for making things up. Oops. Now you put Dillian White in the same situation, and to be honest with you, the difference is, at least some of the things Wilder was saying, I mean, Fury's glove was looking a bit dodgy. I haven't seen a glove move in that angle. In some of the shots, some of the photo shots, it does look odd. That's the fact. But Dillian, there's nothing odd about this. Yeah? And in fact, you know what? On that note, let's go through the claims made from Shite. So, he starts off the interview. In fact, and you can tell, I've got another video coming soon, but this was a Sky Sports setup, because Tyson Fury banned Sky Sports. He said, listen, I ain't doing no more interviews with Sky Sports after they pressed him about El Trapahan. So you can tell it's that kind of, no doubt Eddie Hearn probably on the phone as well. One's there trying to set up some sort of narrative now, spin some narrative. And I guarantee you, when Eddie Hearn does finally break his silence, yeah, I guarantee you he bringing this up. Oh man, my name's Silver Spoon, and Dillian got pushed and he need a rematch, and he's been waiting 400 days for a rematch. I guarantee you, man, yeah, that's what's coming next. The next narrative from the Brixton Bomber is going to be, oh man, we've been waiting 400 days for a rematch and Fury ducking, and he knows I'm going, you ain't going, Dillian. And that's the thing, Dillian knows he get chinned again. Dillian, you have no chin. Do you get that? All you White fans, he has no chin, and he has no skills. You're big, bulbous, slow looking, useless. Dillian is one of the most useless heavyweight boxing challengers in history. I've never seen someone so outclassed. And you're talking about a rematch. You got no chin, you got no skills, you're slow, you're dopey looking, and that's the end of that. About rematch, about you been done wrong. I can't believe it. Honestly. If it wasn't the fact I knew Dillian was useless anyway, and if it wasn't for the fact that I knew Dillian was trying to run some scam, I'd have been shocked. But I weren't shocked when this came out. This is about right on point. And the worst thing is, I did a video yesterday, Dillian White himself said, in fact, I'm going to do, that's another video I'm doing. Yesterday, in my leaked BBC interview with Dillian, he said, oh no, nothing to do with the push. Now, obviously, he's gone back and trying to find some sort of angle, and he's running with the push. But anyway, that's like a little bit sorted out. So yeah, like I said, the Sky guy, you can tell there was an agenda to this interview from the jump, off the rip. Yeah, 2-2s. The interviewer says to Dillian, oh Dillian, moments after you got knocked spark out, you got pushed. Dillian responds, yeah, I was buzzed, but then he full on pushed me, and I hit my head on the canvas. And by the way, let me say this now, yeah, this is why I believe in boxing there should be MMA rules, in as much as I believe boxers should be allowed to follow up on the floor. Yeah? Simple as that. Oops. Because he's got, make sure there's no confusion. Let's follow up. That's how it should be from now. From now on, let's make it simple as this. From now on, you can follow up on the floor. Let's get rid of all this narrative. Oops. Yeah? Let's do it that way. And that's the thing as well. Tyson Fury, and to be honest with you, I do kind of agree. At the time, I did think it. At the time when I saw Fury do the push, if that's what you want to call it, a push. When Tyson Fury did the push movement, I did wonder why he should have just drilled some more big shots right down the pipe, right on his three bonds. Yeah, and then when Dillian White ends up like Michael Watson, his wife and his kids would have been on the TV saying, "Oh man, Dillian, oh, Tyson Fury evil. My daddy can't speak no more. And, he evil, and the referee didn't step in, and yeah, 100%. So the referee can't win, because if the referee didn't stop the fight and he ended up cabbage, is referee going to be sued for not stepping in? And like I said, guarantee you, yeah, if DILLIAN WHYTE had ended up seriously injured, yeah, and the ref had let the fight carry on, there'd have been uproar. Eddie Hearn would have been on. It's a scandal. Oh, Frank Warren show, yeah, all that would have been going on, and that's why. And that's what frustrates me the most. The fact is, these guys are playing like, Dillian, you got no chin. That's another thing you need to appreciate. Yeah? Tyson Fury knows how chinless you are, Dillian. He ain't want to do that to your family. Same as the referee. Let's not forget, people. These fights don't happen in a vacuum. Meaning that, Tyson Fury knows you've got no chin. The referee knows you've got no chin. Yeah? And everything, Tyson Fury knows you've been chinned a whole bunch of times, yeah? The referee knows you've been chinned a whole bunch of times. They're thinking about your future. You're lucky you can come on Sky News today, and you're lucky you're still able to carry on woofing. Because if I'd had it my way, I'd have cabbaged you. Personally, like I said before, if I had it my way, if I was Tyson Fury, he should have just carried on drilling all the way to the floor, yeah? Until the ref breaks him off you, keep drilling. That's what I think the rule should be. From now on, to cut this out, simple as that. You go until the ref drags you off. Simple as that. No confusion. And you keep pounding away. So I do agree on that. In that respect, should Tyson Fury have pushed? No. He should have drilled big, hard, nasty shots right into his bonds, all the way down to the floor. That's what I think should happen. Simple as that. Don't stop until the ref pulls you off. Don't show these cats no mercy. And again, this is what happens when you show people some kindness. Tyson Fury was being kind. Yeah, he was being merciful. Too merciful. And again, I'm not biased here. I'm going to agree. Tyson Fury was too merciful. Yeah? And that's a mistake on his part. He should have carried on drilling until the ref pulled him off. Simple as that. Yeah? Cabbaged him. And when he's cabbaged, I don't want to hear from now on, every boxer listening, cabbage him. That's simple as that. And when I don't want to hear no crying. I don't want to see no wives. I don't want to hear about no kids. That's why you wanted it. Give it to them that way. That's how they want it. Yeah? Because then, if you don't do that, all of a sudden you got all of the white. Oh yeah, jump on this Balmer. Yeah, it was the push, and it was the push, and you got say. And to be honest with you, when you actually watch boxing, I've seen it loads of times. That whole push thing. It's not even. I'm not sure why they do it. Lennox Lewis was renowned for it. Lennox Lewis would hit people and then kind of guide them to the floor. I'm not sure what, but I have seen it habitually, especially with a tall fighter versus a short fighter. I think Vlad's renowned for it as well. He'd drill a big 1-2 and then kind of guide you to the floor. I'm not sure why they do that. I think it might be some sort of primitive autonomous reaction, in as much as you're trying to chase the knockdown rather than think of the process. Because in reality, the best way to get someone down to the floor would be to follow it with more shots. But I think when you hit someone and you see they're rocked, you're instinctually thinking, get them down kind of thing. Rather than thinking, you know what, he's rocked, I'm going to take full advantage and sucker punch his fool all the way to the floor. So I do think that, and that's why I do like Conor Benn, because if you watch Conor Benn, he ain't doing no pushing. He following up all the way to the floor, or so far at least, again in his opponent. So that's something that, and the thing is, that's what shows Tyson Fury's got room for improvement. Because from now on, Tyson Fury needs to learn from this. Don't show these goofies no mercy. Follow all the way up. Tyson Fury should have hit him with that right uppercut and then just put a range-finding jab out and drilled a nasty right hand right on the end of his chin on the way down, and then a few uppercuts as well. Simple as that. That's it. Yeah? And then Dean would have been in the ring saying, "Oh, Tyson, was that really necessary? Oh, Tyson, he can't walk, and he's had to be wheeled out on a stretcher." But that's what you get, you see. In this day and age, you don't get. If I was Dillian, if I was advising Dillian, I'd say, listen, Dillian, let's just be grateful that he didn't follow up. Yeah? Because for all you know what I'm saying? Let's just be grateful. You was completely outclassed. You didn't win a round. You were slow and useless as you like. Let's just be grateful that we got out and you're still compos mentis. Yeah? About you the push. And that's another thing. I've got another video coming soon. Guess what? The whole narrative about his head dropping off the floor, actually go back and watch the tape. Yeah? DILLIAN WHYTE's head doesn't not hit the floor. Oops. DILLIAN WHYTE wasn't fully unconscious when he hit the floor, which meant that his, what do they call it? His parasympathetic nervous system was still it was still turned on, and that's why naturally when you get knocked down, your neck will tense up to prevent your head from licking off the floor. Now, obviously, if you, for example, when Marquez knocked out Pacquiao, he was ice cold. There was no autonomous brain activity. He was just cold out. So his head let off the floor. But Dillian, because Fury spared him, Fury could have turned his lights all the way off for him. And then his head would have really... And that's the thing. That's the ironic... The irony is, if Tyson Fury had followed up with punches, Dillian Whyte's bonce would have been turned all the way off, and then his head really would have bounced off the canvas. But because Fury spared him and caressed him to the floor, Dillian Whyte's automatic nervous system was still activated. And you can watch it. Go back and watch the actual footage. Dillian's white hair does not rattle off the floor at all. His head only touches the floor. Dillian Whyte gets knocked down, his bum touches the floor, his back touches the floor, and then his neck is all tight, and you see it slowly relax to the floor. That's how it actually goes. Oops. Yeah? So there was no rattle. I've seen heads rattle before. I've seen people be knocked out cold, and their head is almost the first thing to touch. In fact, I think it was Ben Askren. Yeah. Watch Ben Askren get KO'd by Masvidal with the knee. He goes down. In fact, watch Tyron Woodley as well. I think Tyron Woodley's head bounced about 4 times off the canvas. Dillian Whyte's head does no bouncing. You can watch it. Dillian Whyte's head gets released slowly to the floor. There's no up and down movement of his head on the canvas. None whatsoever. I've seen people, again, watch Ben Askren versus Masvidal. Watch, what's the other one I said? Well, watch any cold KO. You'll see their head literally play basketball. Watch Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul. Any KO where they land on their back, you'll see it bouncing like a ping pong. Yeah, there was no ping pong. So again, he's spinning this fake news narrative. It's super embarrassing for Dillian. Anyway, the next thing he says, it was illegal. So yeah, I was buzzed. Then he buzzed me with a right uppercut. Then he full on pushed me, and my head hit the canvas. It was an illegal push. It's not wrestling. The ref then let Fury do what he wants, and you can tell that statement there, the ref then let Fury do what he wants. There was this whole notion, or there was this whole undertone of the system being against Dillian. And as if everything's been favoured towards Fury. That's what the narrative is trying to spin. Oh man, it's institutional. The system. You was talking about all out. You was talking about, what happened to that? I don't get that. How can you be talking? I don't know, but from what I understand about wolves don't have no government system and referee protecting them or whatever. So what's your... where was that? The people want to know. The Brixton people want to know. Where was the... Because you don't sound like you're doing much howling now. You sound like you're crying, making excuses, looking for people to help you out. Dillian, if you weren't completely chinless, you wouldn't have been in a situation where you needed a favour from the referee. And you hear the Sky guy say, well, there was only 1 second left in the round. Again, Dillian, you need to take up a question with your own bonds. Rather than woofing on everyone else, why don't you sit down and ask yourself, wait there a minute, why am I so chinless that the first shot that lands, I'm going cold out? That's what you want to focus on. About the ref didn't do this and Fury did that. Why are you chinless? That's the question. You need to ask yourself, answer. That's what you need to ponder. That's what you need to sit in a Sky interview and ask questions about. Wait there a minute. Why am I so chinless? And that's the start and the end of it. Because if you weren't chinless, you wouldn't have been in the trouble you was in after the first shot, and that would have been that. And you'd have carried on fighting it, and you'd have got knocked out some other way because you weren't winning the round. It pissed me off. This whole thing pissed me off. Proper. Because I've never seen someone as useless as Dillian. That's the worst thing about it. He actually... before the fight, yeah, I can't lie to you. Before the fight, I actually said, in terms of the odds, because Fury was 85% favourite, Dillian was 6-1 on. So it meant that if you put 100 quid on Fury, you only got like 120 back. So I said, from an odds point of view, the money makes sense with Dillian Whyte. I was wrong about that. Because, yeah, I thought Dillian would basically do better than an 85% underdog. I knew he wouldn't win, but I thought that it was, you know what I mean? I thought he'd do, but I'm telling you something now. It was clear that Tyson Fury, based on that performance, Tyson Fury should have been a 95% favourite, a 96% favourite. That's what that showed. So I was wrong. Emmanuel White would be down about 100%. But I thought I gave Dillian way too much. Even though I said Dillian was useless before the fight, I didn't realise he was genuinely super duper useless. He's actually useless. I've never seen someone so slow. I've never seen someone with so much no chin. It's mad. Super wild. Yeah, and then I've never seen someone have all them be so slow, be so useless, be so chinless, and then talk about how he need a rematch. It's mad. It really is mad. Yeah? Super mad. Anyway, let me finish the rest of these quotes off. So Dillian says it was an illegal push. It's not wrestling. The ref let Fury do what he wants. Then Dillian says he should have been allowed extra time because of the push. Again, Dillian, your head didn't rattle off the canvas. That's the first thing. The second thing is the push. I mean, I don't understand that. That's the thing as well. If someone pushes you, yeah, and you're conscious, you'll just fall to the floor. So this shows you was all. And the worst thing is, Dillian, if you weren't unconscious, why did you struggle to get up? Why were you looking like Bambi? Why were you looking like a newborn Bambi on ice with stilts on? If you weren't finished. But this is the culture we live in today. The culture we live in today is blame everyone else. Don't take no responsibility. Yeah? Dillian too busy blaming the system. Again, rather than saying, why am I chinless? Why do I have no chin? Why is it because Dillian could have stood up here, had a chin, not been like Bambi on ice, had some stability in his legs, and the fight would have been, he would have got a count, and that would have been that. The ref waved it off because you was stumbling all over the place because you got no chin. Whose fault's that? It's not the referee's fault. The referee's job is to protect someone who can't protect themselves. You were stumbling all around the ring. But like I said, people, really, the boxing rules need to change. The boxing rules need to change to MMA rules, where you can where you're expected to follow up until the referee pulls you off. That way, there's no confusion. Fury should have followed him to the ground and kept on playing basketball with his head off the canvas. Simple as that. Yeah, no doubt about it. Play basketball with his bonds. Similar to, I mean, look at, for example, another great example. Look at McGregor versus Aldo. McGregor versus Aldo. Aldo catches him with a left hook and then follows him down to the ground and plays basketball with his head. That's what Fury should have been able to do, or should have been expected to do. Knock him down and play ping pong with his bonds. Simple as that, no confusion. Yeah? That way his head really would have bounced off the canvas and he really would have something to complain about. Yeah? This whole trying to, we found some niche in the rules. It's super embarrassing. It really is. I'm just hoping, to some extent, that the reason Dillian's doing this is because he's still half concussed, if you get what I'm saying. That's the only... I'm speaking to a doctor later, and he's going to basically give me the rundown, but from what I'm hearing, Dillian might be suffering some sort of acute onset. Do you know what I'm saying? Some acute brain trauma here. Yeah, I'm not even sure if this is the real Dillian. His eyes look a bit glassy to me. Yeah, look a bit hazy, a bit misty. Anyway, so then the final thing Dillian says, yeah, I got hit, I was hurt, but I didn't go down. Then he full on pushed me. It was a terrible job from the referee. I got hit, I was hurt, but I didn't go down. And this is the thing. So what? People know me, I'm not biased, and Fury does need to learn from this. Fury needs to learn that you don't show people no mercy. As much as you might want to be whatever merciful, you can't do that in this game. Yeah? Be ruthless. And if he ends up Watsoned, so be it. Simple as that. That's on him. Because that's how they want it. Yeah? They want it. That's how they want it. Give it to him just like that. Because you can't, otherwise you end up just causing yourself... What? There's no need to. Why not? Yeah, if Dillian White and everyone else wants to be Watsoned, that's what you have to do for them. Because me personally, I'd be saying now, you know what? I was never going to win that fight. Let me just be grateful. I got my 8 million and I can still speak properly. Because it weren't going to go. Does Dillian really think that? What was he going to do? Dillian, before you got... So I don't get. Before you got chinned, yeah, You weren't doing nothing. You didn't land any of your magic shots. Tyson Fury didn't even respect you enough to stand southpaw. He went left. He went right hand versus right hand. He went left hook for left hook, and you didn't land it once. And that was when Dillian was his freshest. We know Dillian has about 4 rounds of gas, and we know Dillian gasses in the last half. Yeah. So the first half of the fight was done, and you'd achieved absolutely no goals, and you looked awful. And Fury builds. Fury was building. Fury was finding his groove. He was going to get better. You was getting worse. And you really think that, oh, well, if the referee had let it carry on, you'd have been going out stone cold. Because that extra minute wouldn't have made no difference. It wouldn't. Dillian isn't someone who can recover. When Dillian's out, he's out. That's it. He would have got. We've seen it before. I've seen it before where someone's been saved by the bell almost, and then they go back to the corner, come out. I'll tell you, great example. Watch Kid Galahad. Kid Galahad was put down by Kiko Martinez. He was saved by the bell. He then comes out for 90 seconds later, and that's when it literally got. And in fact, that's another great example. Watch that fight. Watch Kiko Martinez versus Kid Galahad. That's another KO where his bonce was played with basketball off. Kiko Martinez KO'd Galahad, and his bonce was bouncing off the canvas. Yeah? That's the kind of chin Dillian has. When he gets rocked, he's not got a Tyson Fury chin, where Tyson Fury can go down, get up, and around a minute later, you wouldn't know has just been put down. Dillian has a Kid Galahad chin. Yeah? Dillian has a Kid Chinahad chin. He'll get put down, and he won't recover. Because the ref gave him 10 seconds, he then got up and was stumbling. He doesn't have that kind of chin. He don't. So what would have happened is, he'd have come out in the 7th round, and then, just like Kid Galahad, he wouldn't have had his senses, and that's it, boom. He'd have been stone cold. So, that's the God's honest truth. All the way round. Look into all the things I just told you. You're going to find out them to be correct, because the YB don't miss. Yeah? But I don't even, to some extent, if Dillian had any, what's the word? If Dillian had any, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for, but if Dillian had any, like, respect for the sport or whatever, he wouldn't be doing this. But I expect this from him. I expect him to try and beg friend, or beg his way into, or controversy his way into a rematch. But there's no way. I mean, put it this way, yeah, Dillian. Never mind Joseph Parker. I'd tell, if I was Tyson Fury, I'd tell Dillian, listen, Dillian, if you want a rematch with me, go and beat Joe Joyce. Oops. Yeah? Simple as that. If you want a rematch with me, go and beat Joe Joyce. That's the bottom line. Beat Joe Joyce on a Frank Warren show, and we'll talk about it. Yeah? He ain't going to beat Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce will wash Dillian, because as slow as Joe Joyce is, he ain't as slow as Dillian. Dillian's useless. Dillian's got no chin either. That's the worst thing about it. Dillian's got no chin. Joe Joyce got a rock solid granite chin, and that'd be a great fight. Well, until Dillian get knocked out, I mean. But yeah, Dillian, you're useless. Take some responsibility. It's your problem for having no chin. Yeah, and that's the end of that. No one else's fault apart from your own, or God's, or your mother and father's, for producing someone who's chinless. Yeah, if you don't like it, take it up with them. It's not Fury's fault. It's not Fury's responsibility to worry about why you couldn't make the count. Yeah? It's not Fury's responsibility or the ref's responsibility to wander or work out or do, I need extra time. It's not, why is that? How's that ties in? Oh, I need extra time because I'm stumbling around the ring looking like Bambi on ice. That's not no one else's fault. It's your own. Yeah? You don't have that kind of chin. You don't. You're chinless. Simple as that.